In the year 2347, humanity had finally achieved what was once thought impossible: interstellar travel. The invention of the quantum fold drive allowed Earth ships to traverse vast distances in the blink of an eye, opening up a universe teeming with life and civilizations far older than humankind. However, as humanity took its first steps into this galactic community, they quickly realized that not all cosmic neighbors were friendly or even tolerant. The Galactic Consual Senate, GCS, an ancient governing body representing thousands of species across hundreds of star systems, greeted Earth's delegation with thinly veiled disdain. To them, humans were primitives, upstarts who had stumbled into their domain without permission or respect for the delicate balance of power that held the galaxy together. Humanity's rapid technological advancements and aggressive expansionist tendencies only served to fuel their mistrust. It didn't take long for tensions to boil over. At a formal summit aboard the GCS flagship Etherian, located in orbit around Proxima Centauri, the Senate issued an ultimatum: disarm completely or face expulsion from the galactic fold. They demanded that Earth surrender all weapons technology, including nuclear arsenals, plasma cannons, and even small arms used by soldiers and civilians alike. Failure to comply would result in economic sanctions, isolation, and, if necessary, military intervention. Humanity balked at the demand. For centuries, Earth had relied on its military strength to deter threats both internal and external. To give up their defenses now felt like signing their own death warrant. Yet, the GCS refused to budge, insisting that disarmament was non-negotiable. As the summit devolved into heated arguments, one senator, a towering insectoid diplomat named Xylarian, rose to address the chamber. "You are children playing with fire," Xylarian hissed, mandibles clicking ominously. "Your kind has sown destruction wherever it has gone. If you will not learn restraint, we shall impose it upon you." Earth's ambassador, Dr. Elena Voss, clenched, her fists beneath the polished mahogany table, but maintained her composure. She knew better than to let emotion dictate her response. Instead, she smiled coolly and said, "Very well, we will consider your terms. But before we part ways today, allow me to share something with you, a demonstration of why humanity cannot afford to be defenseless." The room fell silent. Senators exchanged wary glances, unsure whether to interpret Voss's words as defiance or submission. Whatever it was, curiosity compelled them to stay. 3 days later, a live broadcast transmitted from Earth reached every corner of the galaxy. Billions tuned in to watch, eager to see how humanity would respond to the Senate's ultimatum. What followed was nothing short of extraordinary. On a barren moon orbiting Saturn, a massive construct loomed against the blackness of space. It was a ship unlike any other, sleek yet imposing, bristling with weaponry while exuding an aura of raw power. This was the Prometheus Dawn, Earth's newest and most advanced warship. Designed in secret over decades, it represented the pinnacle of human ingenuity and determination. As cameras panned across the vessel, a voice crackled through the transmission. Admiral Marcus Kane, commander of Earth's United Space Fleet, stood on the bridge surrounded by officers clad in crisp navy blue uniforms. His steely gaze pierced through the screen as he spoke directly to the GCS. "To the Galactic Consual Senate," Kane began, his voice steady and commanding. "We have heard your demands. We understand your concerns about our place in this galaxy. But let us make one thing perfectly clear. Humanity does not bow to threats. We do not cower before superior numbers or advanced technology. And above all, we do not surrender our right to protect ourselves." With those words, the Prometheus Dawn roared to life. Plasma thrusters ignited, bathing the surrounding moonscape in an eerie blue glow. Then, without warning, the ship unleashed its payload, a swarm of autonomous drones equipped with cutting-edge AI and experimental weaponry. In mere seconds, the drones obliterated a series of asteroid targets scattered across the lunar surface, reducing them to dust. But the demonstration wasn't over. Next, the Prometheus Dawn deployed its primary weapon, the Solstice Cannon. A beam of pure energy erupted from the ship's prow, slicing through space with terrifying precision. The target, an abandoned alien derelict drifting nearby. The beam struck true, vaporizing the vessel in an instant. The broadcast ended with Kane delivering a final message. "This is what happens when humanity decides to fight back. Consider this a warning. Attempt to disarm us, and you will find yourselves facing consequences beyond comprehension. We seek peace, but we are prepared for war." Back aboard the Etherian, chaos erupted. Senators shouted and gestured wildly, some calling for immediate retaliation, others urging caution. Xylarian himself seemed stunned, his usually composed demeanor shattered by the display of human resolve. For years, the GCS had underestimated humanity, viewing them as little more than savages wielding stolen technology. Now, they faced a grim reality. Earth was no longer a fledgling civilization. It was a force to be reckoned with, a sleeping giant that had just awoken. Dr. Voss watched the pandemonium unfold with quiet satisfaction. She had gambled everything on this moment, knowing full well that revealing the Prometheus Dawn could provoke open conflict. But she also knew that humanity needed leverage if it hoped to survive in a hostile galaxy. Sometimes peace could only be achieved through strength. When order was finally restored, the Senate reconvened to discuss their next move. After hours of deliberation, they reached a decision. Earth would not be disarmed, not yet at least. Instead, the GCS extended an olive branch, inviting humanity to join them as equals rather than subordinates. It was a begrudging acknowledgement of Earth's capabilities, but an acknowledgement nonetheless. As the news reached Earth, celebrations broke out across the planet. Humanity had stared down the barrel of annihilation and emerged victorious, not through violence, but through sheer audacity and ingenuity. The Prometheus Dawn had done more than showcase Earth's military might. It had proven that humanity belonged among the stars. And so, a new chapter began. One where Earth stood tall, ready to defend its place in the cosmos. The galaxy had tried to disarm them, but instead, they armed themselves with courage, unity, and the unshakable belief that no challenge was insurmountable. After all, humanity hadn't survived this long by backing down.